guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm showing off the November Witch's Moon. Yay! I'm so excited! Okay, so this month is known as the Mystic Scribe, and well, I know that a lot of people in our community are all about the almighty pen. So let's see what the Mystic Scribe has to say. The journey of 1,000 lessons can only be explained by the one that writes the word. This endless pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment begins and concludes with the Mystic Scribe. As one of the most sacred and necessary practices in our craft, the art of writing and remembering allows us to be intimate with our story and manifestations. The power that comes from this deeply personal practice proves to make space for growth, comprehension, and meaningful intent. We work to make the sacred practice of becoming the scribe one of our most powerful attributes. I was like, I need to make this video ASAP, yes, as soon as possible, because I really want to dive, I mean, every month I want to dive in like everything, but okay, I'm an English teacher. I was a creative writing, I had a creative writing emphasis like in college, like that is me, like the writer, like, oh my gosh. So like, okay, I'm gonna make this video, I'm gonna show off all the goodies, and then I'm gonna just like go nerd out. So let's do that. Okay. So the first thing on our list is the custom created spell ink set with glass pen. So the Witch's Moon box paired up with the Victorian Trading Company, and they made these different inks that you can use depending on what it is that you want to write. It does talk about, you know, maybe doing a little practice here and there to figure out how the crystal or the glass pen works, because it works a little bit different than a quill ink pen. It does talk about maybe using some of the oil that they included in this box, maybe putting a little bit of that into your inks, you know, just making the inks very personal, like if you want to use it for your grimoire or just personal writing or you know, intention writing, and like maybe, you know, papers that you're gonna burn, or I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, like you do you. So let's take a look at that. Oh yes, so this, oh wow, well first let me show you that it's in this like really sturdy box, and this was the lid. It says Victorian Trading Company on it, and it says spell inks designed exclusively for the Witch's Moon, which is freaking fantastical. Witch's Moon is just like pairing up with all the homies. So here I left the tops of the bottles like covered in wax, you know, so it's a nice soft wax, so you could put your sigils in here if you wanted to. But this particular one is called Psychic Magic, so I think it is fitting that it has purple wax on the top. We have Prosperity ink, you know, green, that's good. Peace ink, we have, this one is Enchantment, and this one is Protection. So this is a black top, a brown top, blue, green, and purple. And then the glass pen, so here's that beautiful glass pen. It's got like red glitter on the inside, and just pull off this protective cap. So here we go. Oh, this is so beautiful. Like, I've always wanted a quill pen, and like now I have a special writing pen, like specifically for writing, for sigils, for all kinds of awesomeness. It's got its own special ink, like, Witch's Moon! All the feels right now, all the feels. The next thing on their list, they have intention setting sigils. So they have a sigil put out on like a piece of cardboard paper or thick cardstock that you could put your inks on, you know, so that you can just like give them like that little extra like oomph, you know, for magical workings. I mean, you could put anything on the sigils, they said, but let's take a look at those. They have all these different sigils, and they said, so like overnight you could, like, if you had the Prosperity oil, you could place your Prosperity oil on here. This is for the Protection oil. This is for the Enchantment oil. We have the Psychic oil. And then we have the peace oil. So it just is, it's like a little extra, like if you wanted to do, you know, you're gonna use the writing utensil for something very specific, and you're like trying to work some sort of spell, and you want to just give the ink some extra, like again, you could add in the oil that comes with the Witch's Moon box this month, and you put that in the ink, and then put the ink on top of the card, the sigil, and then, you know, and just, it just gives it that extra feel, you know, like a little extra kick in the pants. And of course you could use these probably for anything else you do, any other like magical tools, like if you wanted these specific intentions set in it. So I think it's really awesome. I think it's really cool. And that's why I like the Witch's Moon box. I just think that everything is so well thought out, and everything just like really goes together. And it's done where, you know, it's like, hey, you could use it this way, but everything is so useful that you could use it for anything. Like it's not just for this, like you just could only use this tool for this or whatever. So that's why I think they really pick really meaningful and beneficial items, you know, and the very, very high quality items. They have the Witch's Alphabet and Other Magical Scripts Book of Shadows artwork that was created by Adrian Alden. And what that is for is, you know, maybe you don't want to write in your native tongue, you know, when you're doing out your magical intentions. You know, a lot of us use sigil writing. I myself like to incorporate hieroglyphics. So let's take a look at that. So this is the Witch's Alphabet, and you can see that there's all different types of symbols here. We have the, you know, English, Anglo-Roman. We have Theban, Ogham, Magi, the Futhark, Egyptian, and Angelic. You know, and just so like, you know, maybe you just want to just add a little something extra. I love that this just all goes together, and it's just awesome. And yes, I do have books that, you know, have each of these different types of alphabets in them, and, you know, and I've studied them. But I like that this is just on this beautiful piece of, by the way, beautiful piece of artwork. Yeah, and yeah, I could just place it on my altar, and I just I love it. The Witch's Moon has also included an undressed spell candle with their blank parchment paper, which they include in our box every month. But what's cool is this month, since it's this, you know, the Mystic Scribe, I could, you know, instead of using my regular pens on the parchment paper when I'm writing my intentions for the month, I could actually try out, you know, my new glass pen and ink. I could use some of the alphabets that, you know, I have now on my altar, and then you can, you know, add this wonderful candle, you know, to go along with it. And then there's also the parchment paper that goes around the candle, I believe is possibly blank this month, so that's interesting. And also they include some herbs this month, which we'll get to in a moment, that you could roll the candle in, like use the oil that came with this, you know, wipe it on the candle. Maybe you just can do that. Maybe you can roll it in the herbs then. Maybe you just want to use, you know, safflower oil or something like that. Well, I use safflower oil, and there's sunflower oil. Some people use olive oil. But yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it lets you be creative, and it's awesome. Okay, so another one of their beautiful beeswax candles. I know there's a lot of us in the community that are really into using beeswax candles for how clean they burn. So yeah, and I am assuming, I think that's what I read, that this parchment paper that surrounds it is blank this month. So that's pretty cool. Then they have the Toth Magical Oil, and well, a lot of you possibly have studied some Egyptology and learned about the pantheon, the Egyptian pantheon, gods and goddesses. And Toth is usually known as like a scribe, like a really wise scribe. And it says he was Toth was considered to be the scribe of the underworld, becoming one of the wise. We resonate with the sacredness and seriousness that surrounds these characteristics of Toth. Toth assists us in connecting our calculated physical actions to the manifestations that will be made upon the future. So they've made an oil that connects directly with that energy. And so their oil is made with tangerine, almond, and cinnamon oils, and it has a piece of cinnamon bark in it, some coriander seed. There's a Lemurian quartz, and they've also added a mixture from their personal cabinet of witchery called Creativity Magical Oil. I already had a sniff of this. It's like a, how do I describe it? Like a spicy, earthy, and the bottle's kind of dark, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on the inside. But hold on, let me give it another sniff. Like, you can really smell the almond in it, but yeah, it feels dark, which, you know, sometimes you want to go to that kind of, well, actually, yeah, dark, yeah, like underworld. And sometimes you want to go to the underworld, you want to travel there for some, you know, inspiration and transformation, so that you can write and do some pretty awesome things. And oftentimes that's where our best creativity comes from. So I think this oil is going to be fantastic for this. Like they said in their instructions, or not instructions, but like list of items, you could use some of this and put it inside the oils that you're working with. I mean the oils, the ink that you're working with, you know, if you wanted to do that. It's totally up to you. I mean, it's like, you know, once you get the box, you do your thing. And they have their bath salt. So this is called the Inner Flame Sacred Salt. And it says, as we work through the day-to-day challenges, we forget to nurture our creative soul. So this helps us to get in touch with that creative person on the inside. It is made with star anise, cinnamon and nutmeg oils, chamomile herb, spearmint leaf, star anise, and their golden aura magical oil from their personal cabinet of witchery. So let's take a look-ski. I like how their artwork has been getting more and more elaborate on these labels, but like people have said before, you know, you could put this in a sachet. Like if you don't have a bathtub, put it in a sachet and hang it from your shower head, you know, so you can get a whiff of that way. You could sprinkle it on the floor of your shower, you know, and get your feet on that salt, you know, if you wanted to. I could smell it all the way back here, and it's awesome. Hold on, give me a second. It smells like a little bit like my dad, and a little bit like holidays, like November, like autumn, leaves falling. Next, they have a cut and coated rough Moonstone, and the affirmation for this is, I work towards deeply understanding self through patience, practice, and my connection to the feminine. All right, so their rough Moonstone, which has been polished, came in this little black satin bag that you see back there, and I got 2 pieces. I don't know if it broke in half or what, but I'm happy. Like, I'm not complaining. I like it, but you can see it's been coated, and in certain light you can see the moonstoniness of it. But it feels really special. So I'm going to keep it on my altar to charge, and then I want to use it for some stuff. They have some stillness incense, and it says, allow the scent of the Palo Santo wood to bring stillness to all hectic emotions. So it has that Palo Santo to it. So let's take a look. Okay, so here it is. And I think I'm going to, after this video has been made, burn a little bit of this while I do some intention setting and you know, give that glass pen a whirl. What do you think? Then they have some gray black tea with muslin bag. So this is Earl Grey Tea. It's got indigo petals of the corn flower in it. It's got orange pico in there, which I have a tea kind of like that. you know, my Earl Grey tea does have cornflower in it. It does have bergamot, and I believe this also has bergamot in it. And it's funny because one of my friends also wanted to give me her Earl Grey tea with bergamot, and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of that too. So, you know, I'm kind of getting the message that maybe I need to drink some of this while I'm doing my magical intentions. You know, I'm okay, universe, I'm listening. Here's some of that Earl Grey tea. And by the way, the Trekkie in me also really started getting into Earl Grey because Captain Picard drinks Earl Grey, and if it's good enough for the captain, it's good enough for me. We have something called Clearing Sacred Smoke, and it says it's meant to be burned upon charcoal, but you could also use it to dress the candle, the like undressed candle that came with this month's box. It's mixed with lavender and sage, you know, which is pretty powerful herbs. And yeah, let's take a look. Here's some of that clearing herb, you know. I mean, you can't go wrong like with sage and lavender anyway. It's like they both smell awesome, and then together, like kaboom. Now, getting towards the end, it says sweet wood bark. Sweet wood or cinnamon bark has long been used in protection and prosperity spells. So it goes into the gender, the planet, the elements that are connected to cinnamon bark. Magical properties, healing, and I always like when they include that in like why they've added certain things to the box. Here's your sweet wood, also known as cinnamon bark, and actually I think I needed more of this, so yay! Every month the Witch's Moon sends a personal oracle card reading, so they meditate on the box, they think of the person who it's getting sent out to. So again, that's why I'm always like it's just extra special, this particular subscription box. You know, it's not just let's throw together like a bunch of like cheap stuff, and you know, and it's like, hey, let's put together some really awesome stuff, some like high quality stuff, stuff that we use in our own practice, and let's give that to our fellow witches, you know, those of them that subscribe to our boxes. And then let's also like think on each and every one of them and give them a personalized oracle reading, which I think is great. This month's card comes from the Wisdom of the Tao Oracle Cards, Volume 2. It says, by me to place inside your box. So yeah, let's take a look at what mine was. So here is the back of the card. And this was my image. It says, watch your back. Beware of kind gestures, sweet, intense, and flattering words. Draw a line between jealousy and admiration. Watch those who seemingly threatened or bothered by you. Reflect internally as well. So I saw this and I was like, you know, and sometimes I think that I, you know, keep my guard down a little too much sometimes, and I yeah, so definitely something to reflect on for this month. And also every month the Witch's Moon always includes a blank piece of parchment paper so you can write your intentions for the month. And lastly, they have their Oak Moon December Esbat Book of Shadows artwork, again by Adrian Alden. And yeah, so it says this artwork is made to honor the Oak Moon and the December Esbat. So let's take a look at that. All right, and here it is in all of its beautiful splendor. Gosh, she's a fantastic artist. But yeah, let me get in so you guys can see. Here we have the Norns. Ritual intentions, gemstones, animals, botanicals, magical beings, something that the Oak Moon is also known as, like other names, colors, elements, celestial influences. Yeah, this is great. So yeah, when December rolls around, beginning of December, end of November, yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this back up on the altar. Alright, so that's it, you guys. That was everything inside the November Witch's Moon, also called the Mystic Scribe this month. A lot of really awesome things. Again, I am just like baffled how they could put so many great things in the box for the price that the box is. So yeah, if you have any comments or questions, place that down below. I always put a link to their shop down below. They not only have subscription boxes, but they have like actually a little online store. So they don't always have like everything that's in the boxes or in the store. Some stuff is exclusively for the boxes. But definitely check out the store because they have a lot of great things there. They have a lot of beautiful deity statues and you know, things like that. So you can definitely check it out. And yeah, that's it for me, spiritual homies. So if you dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. And don't forget to click that ding, ding, ding notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading with me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. And I will catch you spiritual homies later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out!